probably know you better than you know yourself. That's my whole ball game all night long.
You know, in 1994, Albert Belle's corked bat drama hit baseball like a foul ball straight to the groin. Loud, messy, and way too on the nose for a season already wobbling toward catastrophe. When the umpires snagged Belle's bat and locked it up like some mob witness, it felt less like a rules violation and more like the universe winking and saying, "Yeah, this season ain't gonna make it, buddy." And of course, the infamous heist to swap the bat only made it better, because nothing says high caliber professional sport like sending your pitcher through an air duct mission that would make Mission Impossible blush. Meanwhile, the rest of the league was chugging along toward the strike like a train with the brakes cut, everyone pretending things were fine while the tracks were clearly on fire. And for White Sox fans, oh, the pain. We were riding high, really high, on the dream of bringing a World Series to the South Side for the first time since TVs had antennas and everyone smoked indoors. Frank Thomas was an MVP machine. The team looked loaded, and hope was so thick in the air, you could have corked that too. But hey, why let a little thing like labor Armageddon get in the way of destiny? So when Belle's bat blew up into national comedy, it felt like a perfect metaphor for the whole year. A season full of swagger, power, and ridiculous potential, suddenly exposed as hollow and doomed to snap in half. The Sox were primed for glory, and instead fans got a big steaming pile of what could have been. Belle's bat was just the opening act of the 1994 baseball tragedy, proof that no matter how strong you look, how confident you feel, or how much you cheat, sometimes the baseball gods just decide to cork your entire year. It's a return to form this week for the whole ball game. How we doing, Blakers?
We're back, Gabe. We're back on our shit once again. Back on track. Dialed in, who knows. But one thing is for certain. I've done nothing wrong since the last time we talked.
That's good to know. Appreciate it. Before we get much further into this podcast, we need to talk about our sponsors. Blake, go ahead.
The fine folks at Flying Horse have replaced our bastards at Muhammad's, and we're gonna Gene's drinking Mr. Pibb Zero, or as I should call him, Dad Krasnoff.
He's me. Yeah, I'm back. He's
Dad Krasnoff back in his dad shirt and his bare, naked, empty fucking house. It's depressing as shit to look at.
And there's some serious echo too, so apologies for that.
It is very barren. Nothing's on the wall. Rick's bed has a bunch of just black boxes.
That is a printer on his bed.
I was going to say maybe an Xbox 360. Or no, I meant like an Xbox, not a 360. But so yeah, this is probably the last time you ever come to the six folks that pay and the other freeloaders that fucking listen. And that humble abode of yours, won't it?
It will indeed. And what a way to go out talking about two of my favorite White Sox of all time.
Well, yeah, true. I guess Albert did end up there. Albert and the Officer Cuck himself, Mr. Ron Karkovice, the forever young one.
Yeah, he retired at 33 years old, this sumbitch.
He looked like he was 43 for his entire career.
He did.
That disgusting, gross mustache of his.
And all those fucking pock marks on his face. Like that Hooters waitress that we've talked about so many times here on the program.
Didn't we talk about Clark's Deli one time? I can't remember.
Yeah, the one in Florida.
Mm-hmm. The sandwich place.
Ron's big time Deli or Ron's Big Grand something. Grand Slam Deli or something like that.
I think it was Ron's Big Fucking Beef.
You know, I got a text today. I I talked to an old buddy of mine to get them some information. They spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert, everybody. They're trying to get Ferrigno on the podcast. So,
oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know that he's deaf or whatever?
I think it's pronounced death. That's how my dad always said it.
No, I think he's still alive. I mean, I don't think he can talk well. That's what I'm saying.
Anybody want a peanut? Yeah, if anybody's seen I Love You, Man, you know exactly how well he speaks. So
I don't want to hear Lou Ferrigno on a podcast, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what are you going to do? We've probably given it more airtime than it deserves at this point. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so we got Kark as our kisser this week, but more importantly, we got to talk about the man of the hour, Albert Jawan Belle. Also
known as, I believe, Albert Joey Belle.
Correct. Yes, Albert Joey. He went by Joey, I think, the first year he was in the league, as a matter of fact.
If you look up his rookie cards, they say Joey Belle on them.
They do indeed.
Which leads me to a very important matter of distinction, because we received such positive feedback last week, or not last week. I mean, I guess it was.
It's been like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's fine.
When we had, for patrons only, Reverend Brown from the hit movie Coming to America came on, and we dug deep and brought him in, and he helped to portray the none other than Neon Deion Sanders. And since that was such a success, I thought, hey, let's do that again with Albert Joey Belle.
Yeah, so we spent every dime of the Patreon.
No, not
we spent every dime of the Patreon money on the good Reverend, and so this week we dug in for the first time to that Spreaker ad money, and sent that out the door so that the podcast could be a little bit better for you. So who this is a surprise to me, everybody, as well. So who'd you line up for us there, guest booker?
I'll just say thank God for election season 2024 when our ad money shot through the roof. I think we made $10 in November. All right. That was a peak month for us.
Unbelievable. Just chef's kiss.
I tell you what, I'm going to let you get going, and then I'm going to bring him in.
Wonderful.
And I think we'll do it that way. How's that sound? I'll get him settled in.
I love it. This sounds great to me. Without further ado, we're going to talk Albert Belle. But before we get into it, I want to just play this little fun piece for you that I found on the internet just to get us in the right frame of mind.
Beginning with the Dugout Show, Thursday night at 7 on WGN.
Yeah, so that's from 1994. That was where we were living.
Oh.
Hello? Yeah. Are they here?
I might be here. Let me.
Shit. Okay. Go ahead. I'll jump into this.
Let me. Hang on. No. Hang on. I'll get him in here from the start. Fuck it. Come on. Yeah. Over here. Over there. Yeah, that's where I want you. Over. You want me over here? That's right. Joey Buttafuoco over here. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One Joey to another Joey. None other than the express driver of the Lolita Express, Mr. Joey Buttafuoco. Hey, Gabe.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Buttafuoco. Yes.
Joey Buttafuoco over here.
I'm so glad you're here, Mr. Buttafuoco. This is going to be great.
No, I'm over here. Joey Buttafuoco over here.
Okay.
Gabe, let me stop before you get going here. Let me explain something, because as Joey Buttafuoco over here, it's you remember the Lolita, the Long Island Lolita, Gabe?
Yeah, Amy Fisher. Sure.
Yeah, we're back, brother. We're back. It's a big time for us Lolita fans, brother. We're getting the band back together. All right? Joey Buttafuoco over here.
Joey Buttafuoco over there. What a wonderful world we live in. I'm so excited that Joey's going to join us today. If you want to read along with the story that is to come, we hearken back to our glory days here on the ball game, and we headed over to saber.org as part of the biography project, and we have an article written by our good, close, personal friend of the podcast, Tom Wancho, who really put his work together here on the biography of Albert Belle. So without further ado, we're going to head into this thing and we'll see where it leads. My guess is we're going to hear from any number of pedophiles throughout the evening. So stay tuned, and here we go.
Hey, yo, whoa, hey.
Joey is extremely smart. He's great with figures and crossword puzzles. He could spell backwards when he was 5. Did you know my Joey was an Eagle Scout? He took French in high school, finished 6th in his class of 266. I brought him up to excel in everything. He wants to be perfect. That from Carrie Belle, Albert Belle's mother, in Sports Illustrated, June 24th, 1991. Strike one. It's impossible to be perfect or bat 1,000 over the course of a 12-year Major League Baseball career, which leads to sometimes he throws coolers around, sometimes he breaks phones in the clubhouse, there are cookies all over the place. This guy is so unbelievable. He can go 3 for 3 going into his at-bat and pop out, and he's still throwing cookies around. That from former Indians teammate Omar Vizquel to the Associated Press, October 23rd, 1995. Strike two, in Belle's case, imperfection led to temper tantrums, shattering locker room sinks, ripping thermostats off clubhouse walls, and firing expletives at media members, which amped up Belle's anger inside. And throughout his major league career, Albert Belle has demonstrated a distinct pattern. When the surly slugger gets PO'd, baseballs get KO'd. That from Mark Bechtel of Sports Illustrated, June 27th, 1998. During his tumultuous career, Albert Joan Belle, born August 25th, 1966, in Shreveport, Louisiana, almost always played pissed off, and his career statistics, a 295 batting average, a 369 on base percentage, and averages of 32 home runs and 103 RBI per season, second that emotion. But when discussing Belle and or his playing career, words speak louder than numbers. Take your pick of adjectives: abusive and articulate, dominant and divisive, intimidating and intellectual, consistent and cursing. Belle has fond memories of growing up.
Is this my part, Gabe?
This is your part, Joe.
I'm a road-ready professional, brother. Let me take a drink of Blake's Monster real quick and clear my pipes. All right. Hey, I was blessed to grow up with parents who possess different strengths and skills.
Belle wrote in an op-ed piece for the Baltimore Sun.
Take two. Mom was and still the glue of the family, but Dad,
also named Albert,
parentheses, also named Albert, was the enforcer and silent pillar of strength.
Mom encouraged academics and culture, and Dad always promoted athletics. Oh, no, that was still you. Sorry. Go back. You can do that again.
Take 3. Mom encouraged academics and culture, and Dad always promoted athletics. Both gave me and my brother all they had. Joey Buttafuoco over here.
Belle's mother was a math teacher, and his father, in addition to his football and baseball coaching duties at another Shreveport area high school, was also an educator. The elder Belle pushed his twin boys hard. To this day, I believe my late night batting practices during high school years were what made the difference in helping me arrive at the major leagues. Wait a second. I thought for
Sorry,
sure
Gabe, that was my
dad.
part. I was over here doing cocaine on the Lolita Express.
I thought for sure that was his dad speaking based on the way that they set that up.
I tell you what, bro, they just got a shitty writer, dude.
Well, you can't expect much from old Wancho.
Hey, take 4. To this day, I believe my late night batting practices during my high school years were what made the difference in helping me arrive at the major leagues. After high school baseball practice, I would go home, eat dinner, and tackle homework. Dad was usually arrive home after a long practice with his high school team. After talking to Mom for a few minutes, he would poke his head in our room. Enjoy Buttafuoco's room over here. That was our signal. My brother and I would immediately bounce up and jog out of the house up to the local junior high, with Dad driving behind us. Dad would throw hundreds of balls, hey yo, all night long.
After an all-state career and National Honor Society merit at Huntington High School in Shreveport, Belle attended Louisiana State University from 1985 to 87 in Baton Rouge, where he set school career marks for home runs with 49, total bases with 392, and RBIs with 172. But Belle's inability to control his temper appeared on a public stage for the first time during a game at the 1987 Southeast Conference Tournament. Belle attempted to run down a fan who was shouting racial slurs at him. 2 of his teammates tackled him, and he was suspended for the College World Series by Tigers coach Skip Bertman. Tick, tick, tick. It wasn't the last time Belle confronted a fan. On May 11th, 1991, while with the Indians, he drilled Jeff Pilar in the chest with a fastball fired from 15 feet away after Pilar yelled, "Hey, Joey, keg party at my house after the game." 2 years later, on September 23rd, 1993, Belle was with some teammates at a Cleveland nightclub when he hit William Kelly twice in the face with a ping pong paddle after Kelly chanted, "Joey, Joey," the name Belle went by before his 10-week stay at an addiction treatment center in 1990. Also, just before I go any further, the sentence "hit William Kelly twice in the face with a ping pong paddle" is just, beautifully written. The Indians selected Belle with their first pick in the 1987 amateur draft. Belle spent parts of 5 seasons in the minor leagues, splitting time between Kingston and Waterloo during the 1988 campaign. Belle belted 17 home runs with 54 RBIs and a .293 batting average. The next year, he jacked 20 home runs for Double-A Canton Akron, earning a promotion to the major leagues. In 62 games, Belle struggled with his batting average, .225, but did club 7 home runs while driving in 37. He was only 22 years old. Seems really young, Joey.
I mean, we're all 22 at one time, aren't we, Gabe?
Good point. Belle's 1990 season was interrupted by his rehab stay. Re-emerging clean, Joey Belle began going by his given first name, Albert. upon leaving the facility. He made the tribe's roster for good at the start of the 91 season. He slammed 28 home runs in 123 games that year, driving in 95 while batting .282. He was just getting started. From 1992 to 1996, there was no more dominant or feared batsman than Belle. His 5-year averages of .303, 41 home runs, and 123 RBIs were neither equaled nor surpassed by anyone. He was named to 4 American League All-Star teams during that span. Of course, Belle being Belle, there were some speed bumps along the way. In the strike-shortened 1994 season, teams refused to take the field for any of the scheduled August 12th contests and forced the cancellation of the rest of the season and the World Series. He had one of his bats confiscated by the umpiring crew during a July 15th Central Division showdown with the Chicago White Sox. Chicago manager Gene Lamont, acting on a tip, asked the umpires to check the bat for cork. See, a bat filled with cork can be swung faster because the cork makes it lighter and gives the baseball lift. Following league policy, the umpires locked the bat in the umpires' room. After the incident, Cleveland pitcher Jason Grimsley, knowing that corked bats were part of Belle's arsenal, snaked his way through a maze of ductwork and ceiling tiles in the bowels of Comiskey Park. "My heart was going 1,000 miles an hour," Grimsley said. "And in the umpire's dressing room, I just rolled the dice. A crapshoot." Grimsley said he quickly dropped from the top of a refrigerator to a counter and down and immediately spotted Belle's bat in an umpire's locker. He made the exchange, as imperfect as it was. According to other members of the Indians organization, Grimsley had to switch Belle's bat with one belonging to Paul Sorrento because every one of Belle's bats was corked. As often was the endgame with Belle, he was suspended for 7 games, reduced from 10. Hey, as an aside here, Blake, I got to ask you.
Yeah?
I got to imagine that these days, if somebody had a corked bat, 7 games would be a slap on the wrist. I'm thinking half the year, they'd be gone for half the year.
At least, I'm sure. Yeah, they would be they would go crazy with it. But as I was also, along those lines, I was looking at photos earlier of Albert, and particularly the one I posted on our Patreon, and he's got the bat like broken in half in his hands and just looking like he's a bad motherfucker. And then I thought about what they look like today, and it made me sad because you just have a bunch of stupid looking fucking dipshits with beards or kids, guys with just fucking looking like a goddamn Madden cough from, whatever, just random generated faces. And all these fucking guys had distinct, like Albert was different than Ken and Frank was different. And then you have Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn and Ozzy.
Well, I sure am glad you brought that up, Blake. Yeah, well, I was very different, being that I was a robot and all.
Yes, thank you, KG.
Nobody ever checked my bat for cork, though.
Thank you, KG24. But
Daddy.
I'm fucking. And Britt Baker comes back. Oh God. But the like Gwen, and you can go on and on. Sandberg, fucking Pudge Rodriguez,
Archetypes.
Kirby. Yes, this is exactly that. That's it. You nailed it. And it's just Ohtani stands on his own, obviously, because he's the greatest fucking baseball player ever. But outside of that, then there's just nothing. It's just very bland, and there's nothing special. And
even the stuff that they try to tell you is special is not, a Bryce Harper or uh, uh, even Freddie Freeman to some degree, or Ronald Acuna Jr. Or it's all kind of just copy and paste of an amalgamation of three different AI generated humans.
you can't have anything special when everything's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. Everything's the same, and everything's moving towards being more the same than ever. It's just about, because I guess that's the end game of efficiency anyway, to just boil everything down to one thing, and you can just do one fucking thing, everything will work. So, because fuck it.
During the strike delayed 1995 campaign, Belle became the only major leaguer to sock 50 home runs and 50 doubles in the same season, which was all of 144 games. Belle played in 143 of them. He tied Babe Ruth's 1927 record for home runs in September with 17. Like Ruth, Belle was the best player on the best team in baseball. Despite his offensive fireworks, Belle placed second in the 1995 American League Most Valuable Player race, behind the inferior stat line of first baseman Mo Vaughn.
Actually, I'm surprised I got as many votes as I did,
said Belle, who received 11 first place votes to Vaughn's 12.
I'm kind of upset that they gave baseball writers all this power when other media people who were former ball players should be involved in the voting too. Maybe it should be 50-50 with those guys and writers. Or maybe not let the baseball writers vote at all. Whoa.
The Indians ended a 41-year World Series drought when they faced the Atlanta Braves and their future Hall of Fame loaded starting rotation of Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, and Greg Maddux. Though the Braves won in 6 games, Belle made headlines, although not necessarily for his offensive prowess. Though he hit just .235, Belle had 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and 7 walks for an eye-popping 1.047 OPS. During batting practice before Game 3, which for Belle was akin to a church service, he became annoyed at the number of media members in the Indians' dugout. Are you sensing a through line here? According to NBC reporter Hannah Storm, initially he screamed at all the media to get out of the dugout in that language that was horrible. 2 or 3 men left. They were frightened. I was the only one who stayed because I was waiting to do an interview with Kenny Lofton. When I stayed, he directed his tirade at me.
Whoa!
Major League Baseball was slow to react. While it could not have approved of Belle's actions, the strong arm of the players' union lurked in the background. For his part, Belle felt he should be neither fined nor suspended.
If that's what Bud wants to do, I'll just tell him that's bullshit. If I gotta be suspended for trying to get back some batting space, he as commissioner should have given us in the first place.
Belle's logic was not shared by Selig. He ruled on February 29th, 1996, that the outfielder had a choice: $10,000 fine or a 10-day suspension. Belle reluctantly chose the former punishment. Belle's agent, Arn Tellem, Jesus Christ. Tellem, Arn, not surprisingly, agreed with his client. This fine is without any precedent and is totally unjustified, he said. But we had no choice but to accept the fine, given that Selig had no remedy to go before someone neutral to hear this matter. It would be like Marcia Clark deciding the fate of O.J. Simpson. Interesting that he plays the race card there. I wonder what that's all about.
Well, you gotta remember, too, it's also 1995.
Of course.
So,
biggest thing in the world. Belle's
Lance Ito is on Saturday Night Live's Mike Myers, okay?
During his 1996 Belle's 1995 was not over until Halloween night when he jumped into his truck to chase down. Fuck me. Oh, God.
Wow.
This is the best part of not reading these things ahead.
Always. You never. I didn't. I've never. I was sitting there, and it's like you don't even think about it anymore because it's so much better when you don't.
Belle's 1995 was not over until Halloween night when he jumped into his truck to chase down kids from his neighborhood who had egged his house. He was convicted of reckless operation of a motor vehicle and fined $1,000 for that bit of horseplay. That's a donkey. During the 1990s.
Most people have to read this shit ahead because they can't do what we do. They can't go.
During the 1996 free agent walk year with the Indians, Belle continued to get the job done on the field. His 148 RBIs led the league. He clubbed 48 homers while batting .311. Belle received his fourth straight Silver Slugger, finished third in the MVP voting, and won a 5-year, $55 million contract with the Chicago White Sox. Just like the Babe, Belle was now baseball's highest paid player.
Well, I just said, quite frankly, maybe we can get this done with Albert.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Gabe. It's been a while. How you doing? Let's talk baseball.
I'm worse now than I was, but that has almost everything to do with the fact that you showed up. So,
well, that's good. Hey, you gonna come on down to the park this season?
Absolutely not. I am now a Detroit Tigers fan.
Oh, what? Nah, you don't mean that now, pal.
They give a shit about their ball club. That's all.
Look at how long I've owned this team. You can't say I don't give a shit about my team.
I can. I say you're done with it, and you don't want to give up the power. You don't give a shit about the baseball. You give a shit about the power.
I mean, I could be doing a number of things. I could do anything I want right now, and I'm here trying to win a championship with the Chicago White Sox.
Are you? Are you? Oh my goodness, I had no idea. I take back everything I said. I'm so glad you're trying to win a championship by grossly overpaying one guy who couldn't even make a starting roster in Boston.
Let me ask you this, my friend. How many millions of your dollars have you put into your baseball team?
I understand what you're trying to say.
It's a simple question. How many millions?
The problem,
you don't need to take in some weird direction to where you have a point.
How
many millions have you put into your baseball team? It's a simple question, you stupid bitch.
773.
Isn't that the amount of news that amount of money Fox News had to pay to the American for lying to the American people, Gabe?
That has nothing to do with anything, Jerry. Please try to maintain a focus here.
Well, no, you just said 7,000. I'm a numbers guy because you know why? Because I actually have millions. I'm not just saying shit coming out of my ass mouth like you. You know what? I'm gonna go dig up Kraus, and we're gonna bring a fucking title to this city. And when we do, I'm gonna put your big fat face up on the front of the field. It
Wonderful.
says, "Don't let this pervert in ever." But his daughter can come in for free.
Wonderful. Perfect. For Belle, the move to a division rival.
Hey, man, that's cold, man, dude.
The move to a.
Credence on the. Oh, dang, man, no.
For Belle, the move to a division rival represented a new beginning after 10 years and a lot of uneasiness with the same organization. His unhappiness over the Indians' 95-96 offseason moves was still evident 1 year later.
After we went to the World Series, I told them, please keep this team together. We'll win the World Series a few times, but only if it's kept together. All they needed to do was re-sign Paulie Sorrento and Kenny Hill, and our off-season moves would have been over. We would have been set. We would have brought back the same team, and I'm telling you, we would have won more games and gone back to the series and won it. When you go to a World Series, you can't tinker with the chemistry of a team because you fight so hard to get that kind of chemistry.
At least one of Belle's ex-teammates begged to differ. I got tired of answering questions about him, said shortstop Omar Vizquel during 1997 spring training. He was in his own little world. He's a great player, but he didn't contribute to team chemistry, and team chemistry is important. Indians manager Mark Hargrove said some of the things surrounding Albert were not good, but you take the good with the bad. The 1997 Indians did not win as many games as Belle's last tribe team had, but still captured the AL Central by 6 games over his new squad. After taking care of the Yankees and Orioles in the playoffs, the Clevelanders advanced to their second World Series in 3 years, dropping Game 7 and the series to the Florida Marlins. Belle had his first of 2 productive seasons with Chicago. In 1997, he recorded his 6th consecutive season of hitting at least 30 home runs and driving in at least 100 runs with 116. The year after, he increased that streak to 7 years with 49 homers and a career-high 152 RBI. In 2 years, the White Sox slugger compiled a .301 batting average, and at age 31, he was among the game's elite and raised his salary ante to get paid like it. Belle's original contract with the White Sox called for him to remain among baseball's top 3 paid players. The White Sox refused to negotiate, giving Belle and his agent a narrow window to shop his services. They found a willing suitor in the Baltimore Orioles, who showered Belle with a 5-year, $65 million contract. As he had done with the White Sox, Belle played nice with the media at the start of his Orioles career, granting interviews, attending Baltimore's Fan Fest during the 1999 winter, and signing autographs during spring training. But a slow start at the plate, a .200 batting average with 1 RBI, led him to announce March 14th, 1999 that
I'm done with you guys.
And just like that, 3 months of goodwill went right down the clubhouse drain. He played 2 years in Baltimore before an arthritic right hip condition forced him to retire on March 11th, 2001. He was productive up until the end, averaging 30 home runs and 110 RBIs per season with the Orioles. Belle considered RBIs the most important offensive statistic in the game.
Hitting for a high average is nice, so is hitting a ton of home runs, but driving in a run a game is awesome.
It's too bad he did not think of media relations as highly. When his name first appeared on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2006, he received a minuscule 7.7% of the vote. Translated, 520 ballots were cast, and Belle was recognized on just 40 of them. His second and final year on the ballot came in 2007, when he collected just 3.5% of the vote. Needing 5% to remain on the ballot, Belle was off his ticket to Cooperstown for good. Belle's career average 162 game season compares favorably with those of others already in the Hall, including Willie Stargell, Hack Wilson, Harmon Killebrew, Tony Perez, and Jim Rice. So why was he bounced from the ballot after just 2 seasons? His numbers were good, Paul Hoynes of the Cleveland Plain Dealer said. I thought if he played 1 or 2 more years at a high level, I'd have to vote for him, but he didn't. He was a bad guy. And what goes around comes around. It wasn't just us. He would sit there and dare people to talk to him. He would abuse the clubhouse guy, the PR guy, everybody.
Barry and Tommy and Zuzu.
According to Teddy Greenstein of the Chicago Tribune, who covered Belle during the 98 season, he was even a menace to Sox employees. He once cursed out a broadcaster for having the gall to enter the trainer's room to get an aspirin. And they belittled hitting instructor Von Joshua by forbidding him from discussing his swing with reporters. Belle mellowed, but only after he was retired. He visited the Indians training camps in 2012 and 2015. The father of 3 girls, he lives with his he lives with his family near Phoenix.
I got a Phoenix, brother. Have you ever seen one of those? They're pretty cool, dude. They're on fire.
In 2016, Belle was elected to the Cleveland Indians Hall of Fame. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Citing family commitments, he declined to attend the ceremony.
Oh!
Belle never met a fastball he couldn't crush or a writer he wouldn't berate. He played by his own rules, answering to no one. Maybe that's why one of the best players in Cleveland Indians history is not remembered fondly, but frownly.
Hey!
What a terrible way to end this article. Jesus Christ, Wancho.
The worst fucking just dog shit ending ever.
Jesus Christ.
Just shit all over everything you just wrote.
Like,
fucking pun.
Like, it's not even, no, it's not even, like, it would be a pun if fond was the opposite of frown.
Okay,
he's a dipshit.
Deconstruct it. Whatever.
Anyway, sorry. Look, I would love to get an understanding, especially since you're in Phoenix, of whether you've seen the portal to hell open up over top Bob's house at any point, Albert. I know you probably live in relative close proximity to where our good friend Bob, what's his last name again?
Horner.
Yeah, Bob Horner lives.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think Bob lives out in the desert part of Phoenix. I live over in the white guy part.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Wonderful.
They don't mess with me, though.
No, and nor should they.
I live down the street from Nasty Nate, brah.
Have you ever eaten at Filiberto's?
I've never felt Berto's anything, dude. Nasty Nate's wife has got a banging bod, brah.
How old is Nasty Nate's wife?
I don't know, dude. Like 30, maybe, dude. I don't know. Younger than his old ass.
Fantastic. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation, Joey?
Lolita Express 25, brah. We back. We up again. Let them know. We on the train, brah.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Belle on the whole ball game.
Well, naturally. I'd say we're 2 for 2. What a great fucking creative direction this has been with the guests.
I gotta tell you, I expected a lot of things in terms of who we were going to get for this week, and Joey Buttafuoco was not in the top 500.
No,
nope.
It was either him or my dead great uncle Albert, who I basically know because one time when I was 5, we had to stop at his house because I had to piss. He was married to a woman named Aunt Edna, who would often call my grandmother's home, and I would listen to my grandmother just talk to her like dog shit, like she's a fucking moron. It was kind of funny listening to my sweet, sweet grandmother talk to people because she would just completely just talk directly to them and like tell them to stop doing things, and it's awesome. But yeah, so I didn't think that would be too good. But so we got Buttafuoco. He was the next guy on my Rolodex.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Just wonderful. Well, I suppose that leads us to covering our
kisser.
Our kisser this week.
Yes.
The one and only
the officer.
Officer Karkovice.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend, Hawk Harrelson gave him that nickname. And actually, Ron actually belongs to a pretty rare club within Major League Baseball. Never played for another team, just a White Sox all the way through. Yep.
Do you think that's because he was just didn't want to move ever?
It might be part of it, but I'm more apt to believe that the White Sox valued having a catcher that was worth a damn, that wasn't so good that they had to pay him an absurd amount of money ever, but was good enough to be able to maintain a certain level of consistency behind the plate. That's all I can really account it. That's the only way I can account for it.
Look, well, I'll just tell you this. Ron
Right.
was very valuable to me for various reasons, Gene. A jack of all trades, if you will. A nefarious means.
I absolutely hate you.
Come on down to the ballpark on Tuesdays for dollar dogs. $17 bleacher tickets.
I hate you so much.
2 for $34.
I'm glad we're giving a good deal on them. If you buy two, you get a little percentage off. That's good.
3 for $80.
Oh dear, here we go. There's actually a surcharge if you want to bring the rest of the family.
Well, you see when you do the math.
You are a numbers guy, Jerry, as we all know.
It's about having the right mix. You see, you want 2.7 family members, so you really want to. It's like going through the third time of the batting order. You understand? You're a sabermetrics guy. You know the average goes up when you go through the third time, so you want to keep that starting pitcher. You only want to go through there twice. So no, we don't need all three of the families because I want two separate families there because we want to bring families together. Gene, that's what White Sox baseball is all about.
Thank you, sir. That's I'm glad we could bring this back to a positive sort of connotation instead of constantly harping on your inability to put together a team that's worth a shit.
Well, you can put that on the board, yes.
Oh boy.
So,
Mercy.
What we have is because Officer Kark wasn't quite important enough to get his own Saber article, but we do have an article where the steady catcher huffs and puffs to sink the Twins with an inside the park grand slam. It is August 30th, 1990. And the White Sox are obviously playing the Twins. And we have an article on this game written by our long time personal and close friend Jake Belle at Saber.
I'll tell you, Blake. I remember that day very well, and it's
this is the officer.
One of the greatest days of my life. Look, I am. Everybody knows I'm not the fastest guy, but look, when history calls, you pick up.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to think I would do that myself. So we have a beautiful shot of Ron in his 1990 Donruss here, and the just heinous White Sox uniforms that time frame.
Absolutely terrible uniforms.
Ugh.
Some of the most beautiful baseball cards of all time. I love these red Donruss cards so much. With the white script, you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You'll probably see it on the podcast picture there.
To some observers, the 1990 Major League Baseball season seemed at times like a 162 game formality. A steady march toward the Oakland A's winning their third straight American League pennant and repeating as World Series champions. I do recall that even at the time, that is very much the sentiment. Everybody pretty much assumes that Oakland is going to win the World Series. I did. They were just head and shoulders above everybody. Sports Illustrated, Athlon's Baseball, the Sporting News Baseball Yearbook, Inside Sports Baseball Preview, and the Baseball Digest all agreed that everyone else was chasing the A's. The A's are the best team in the majors, right? Or similar sentiments. Another universal prediction was that the AL West Division cellar belonged to the Chicago White Sox. The consensus opinion was that the roster, with the exception of 42-year-old Carlton Fisk, was too young and inexperienced to compete in 1990.
Carlton, he taught me just about everything he knew. It's part of the reason that I decided to retire as early as I did, is, watching Carl. That's what I called him. I called him Carl. We were close. Watching him suffer through the end of his career, and watching his knees go slowly but surely as he ended up his career there in Chicago, wherever it was he was in Chicago. And I got to tell you, if it hadn't been for Carl, I probably never would have assassinated the Archduke Ferdinand in 1914. It sent a ripple through the rest of the western half of the Western Hemisphere, and eventually got us tied up in World War I. But if it hadn't been for Carlton's incredible dedication to the game, I never would have had the inspiration to do it and set us on the path that we're on now.
Now, did I hear you correct? And did you say that he taught you everything that he knows?
Correct. Yeah. Not everything I know, everything he knows.
Right. Okay, I wanted to make sure that distinction was made, and that is what you indeed intended to say, because that is what I heard.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if I told you that he taught me everything I know, that would be a lie. And I value nothing higher than truth and honesty.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, good.
But while the A's lived up to expectations, the White Sox exceeded them. By the end of April, they settled into second place, occasionally nipping the heels of the Athletics, but always watching their quarry pull away.
Yeah, this guy, this Todd character who's writing this, believes he's too smart by half, and is putting nonsense words together to try to make himself. I'm sorry, Jake Belle.
Belle, yes, I was going to get there.
These guys. If you read enough of these, here's a little soapbox for you. You read enough of these articles from enough of these same guys over the years we've been doing the podcast. Can you believe that? Multiple years we've been doing this.
Yeah, I was looking there. It's been a while. Oh, by the way, that 3 days ago, last year, we had our show where you came back to tell everybody you didn't die.
Well, I'll be a son of a bitch.
The 18th.
Well, there we go. Yeah, that would
have
been. My goodness, a year, and
what a year.
Yeah, what a year indeed. Yeah, it's about 6 weeks ago was the 1-year anniversary of the surgery. Anyway, I'm here. I'm not dead yet. Soon enough.
Maybe you died and took us all with you.
I've thought about this hypothesis quite a bit, that maybe I am dead.
Yeah.
It would explain a lot of things. A lot of things. But anyway, you read enough of these Saber articles, and you start to go, well, maybe this Saber shit is bullshit. If these are the minds that are behind it, this sabermetrics thing might be for the birds after all. Maybe we should just focus on whether we think people can play baseball well or not.
Look, you got to remember though, because they're like math fucking guys and stuff. So what's the one thing they want to be? They want to be fucking clever and funny. So they write these dog shit articles. They're not clever and funny though. So it's not like you got a bunch of witty motherfuckers that are, wanting to crunch baseball numbers. Anyway, in August, is that where we're at? Yes. That's quarry pull away. In August, White Sox fans still had hope that their team might pull off an upset. With the trade deadline looming at the end of the month, the White Sox opened a homestand against Oakland on August 20th with an 11-1 drubbing that saw A's center fielder Dave Henderson lost to injury. Chicago won the series 2-1 and was 5.5 games back. 2 more wins over the California Angels followed before a heartbreaking loss sent the White Sox spiraling. One strike from a shutout, Chicago closer Bobby Thigpen allowed Lee Stevens' game-winning 3-run homer, and the White Sox lost to rookie Joe Gray a day later. But seeing the last-place Minnesota Twins on the schedule for 4 games kept some White Sox faithful clinging to the hope that a Monday-Thursday sweep in the Metrodome might be enough to prompt Chicago's front office to make a key trade or two.
I greatly doubted that was going to happen, and as we all know, it probably didn't. But it just reminds me you're talking about the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. I was it was gosh, it was I guess it was late November, early December. Yeah, no, it was I flew out late November out of Minneapolis. And it's a long flight out there, but I was there for 2 weeks for vacation. Myself and this friend of mine. You may have met him. He floats around your neck of the woods. He hangs out at Applebee's.
Oh,
I mean, it's been so long. I forget his name. Todd Nakazawa.
Michael, yeah.
Had a thing with his index finger. I don't.
Don Teriyaki.
You'll have to, Don Teriyaki. That's his nick. Don Todd. You get it. He's an Asian guy,
right?
But we vacationed in Hawaii together that year. He had a lot of friends there, and
what year was this?
1941.
Okay.
We flew down to. I don't remember. We flew into the Big Island. I know that. We were at this beautiful little restaurant on the water, and it was. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was December 7th. I was about halfway through my vacation, and there I was, watching these Japanese planes fly into Pearl Harbor there, and took out a good number of our boys. I instantly, of course, grabbed Don by the back of the neck and brought him to the local authorities because clearly he had something to do with it. Why was he there looking the way he looks and not have something to do with it? So I never would have thought. He was a hell of a guy. But yeah, it reminds me because that was the first time I ever saw the Metrodome was there. As I was flying out, I looked down and went, well, what the hell's that big white bubble? That's what it was, the Metrodome.
Weren't you 27 years old here in 1990?
Yeah.
But you assassinated the Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and then you've also been in Pearl Harbor. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, but I was in Pearl Harbor in 1941, but that wasn't until 1999.
Gotcha. The Twins had their own bad luck that season. On July 17th, they turned 2 triple plays in one game, something no other team had ever done, and still lost. 5 years later...
Well, I hate to be the guy to step in here and tell you that you're wrong when they're talking about turning triple plays. There's really only one guy to speak on the subject, and I figured I'd pop on in here.
God damn it.
Let you know it's me, your old pal Mick, and I knew you'd be happy to see me here, Blakers. If you don't mind me calling you as such, I know Gabe does quite a bit, and I've taken a liking to it myself. But if there's anybody who can talk about just how much a triple play can turn a game around, it's the guy who turned the seventh unassisted triple play in Major League Baseball history, Mickey Morandini. That's me. I'm here just to talk about that. I've recently taken a position with the Philadelphia Phillies, who used to be the Philly. I hear you talking about the Athletics. The Athletics used to be in Philadelphia before they moved to Oakland, and then the
Kansas
Phillies
City
took.
in between, even.
Sure, but Kansas City doesn't count. That's a shithole of a place and shithole of a state. So really don't want to talk too much about that. But
Missouri?
they have pretty fantastic dispensaries, from what I can tell, in Missouri and Kansas City.
The Flying Horse up there.
Oh, absolutely. I heard they're the sponsors of the program today, so I wanted to give them another shout out for you, because I'm a team player. At the end of the day, whether it's the Cubs or the Phillies or the AAA Blue Horns, I'm certainly going to be a team player. And old Chase knows that.
See, I told you, boys, we're back. White Sox fans nearly saw a sweep, but not the one they wanted. Minnesota took the first 3 games of the series, outscoring Chicago by a combined 25-7, effectively ending any remaining playoff fantasies.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough series in Minneapolis, and yeah, I know where you're getting to here. We're going to talk about it,
Okay.
But
Do you?
what it reminds me of, the way that we were taken so wholly out of the game, out of the race, the trying to win it all sort of thing. It reminds me so much of the killing fields in Laos there shortly after the Viet Cong had us forced out of Vietnam. Think about it quite a bit. So it was tough. Seeing all those men on their knees with the bags over their head and the ties wrapped around their necks. There were atrocities, Blake, that I saw with my own eyes, and I don't like thinking about it. But when I hear about that 4-game series in Minneapolis and what I did to try to get us out of it, I can't help but be reminded of the lives that I was able to save in Laos by slicing the bags off of those men's heads. I didn't get to all of them, but had I not gotten to the 16 or 17 I got to, their families would be fatherless as well. So, obviously, the corollary between baseball and war is strong here, but until you've lived both of them, you can hardly understand. That was 1974 in Laos. What a night.
But it was 2 key trades made by Oakland before the series finale that felt like nails in Chicago's coffin. On August 29th, the Athletics replaced the injured Dave Henderson with 3-time Gold Glove winner Willie McGee, and broke my heart. I was very sad.
I bet.
It was all over for Whitey Ball. That was it. We lost Willie. Vince Coleman goes to the Mets in free agency, and it was time to start over. Bob Horner shit the bed.
I mean, this is just it's your opinion.
History's opinion.
You're entitled to it. I guess everybody else.
3 homers. 3.
Yes, that's entitled to it too. I never made any promises about what I was going to do. I go out there, I try my best, and it's what you do it. And I think, I stopped being as committed to Dark Lord, and that
was
sent
it.
me back. After that season, I talked to Anton, and he set me straight. And then he sent me to to do some other things for him. And, it's
Yeah.
been good ever since. Just drink a little beer.
Yeah. Been 35 solid years ever since, right?
That's right. There's nothing. I mean, I took my own life last year sometime.
Right.
I
Yeah. There's
remember
that.
exactly when that was. It was on your program though.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Well, you look around here,
It's the
nobody.
ultimate indulgence. You understand?
Yeah.
You get it.
Final indulgence or something like
It's
that.
a final indulgence. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, life is indulgent. That's why That's why I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
Chocolate and suicide is what I'm
right,
saying. And
right.
beer.
I think we found around here that nobody really dies. We just
Well, I'm here, right?
right.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
We merely transform. Three-time Gold Glove winner Willie McGee, who was in the midst of his best season since he won MVP honors in 1985 and might have been in consideration for the award again if the Cardinals hadn't been in last place. You want to know what's interesting is that Willie, even though when he gets traded to the AL, he wins the National League batting title because he met the
Wow.
requirements for the games before he got traded. So let's see here. But the real dagger in the hearts of White Sox fans was the A's trade with the Texas Rangers for the lowest, worst Hall of Famer of them all, Harold Baines. Drafted by Chicago in 1977, the four-time All-Star Hall of Fame. That's what his joke. Had called Comiskey Park home for 9 years and was still beloved on the South Side. Some speculated that A's manager Tony La Russa may have engineered the trade as a personal vendetta for revenge when the White Sox had fired him 4 years earlier.
What do you think about that, Jerry? You think that's the case? You're friends with Tony. You should have some special insight into this. Has he shared with you over the years that that's exactly what this was about? He wanted some sort of revenge for you getting rid of him, and so he made a play for Harold.
Gabe,
Yeah.
can you hear them? They talk about us, telling lies, spreading their thighs.
I hate you so
My
much.
lips are sealed.
God damn it.
The next afternoon, Minnesota sent David West to the mound. The lefty retired leadoff hitter Sammy Sosa. Phil Bradley walked and advanced to second on a weak grounder from Ivan Calderon, but was left stranded on a called third strike to designated hitter Frank Thomas, batting .313 in the first month of his big league career.
And did you remember too? That was Sammy's first year in the league too. Sammy was a rookie. He played right field for us that year before he ended up on the other side of town. And yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna tell me how you guys, like, I don't know, went to Teddy Roosevelt's inauguration together.
Oh no. Oh, I understand what you're saying now. No. I never met Teddy. Now Franklin, on the other hand.
Oh, FDR, yeah.
I called him Frank.
Sure.
Like Frank Thomas. And
Did you see the blanket?
of course, I saw the blanket.
The
Cum
FDR
stains
blanket
all over that thing.
Yeah, I knew it.
But
FDR blanket.
yeah, I visited the White House in, oh gosh, it must have been 43, 44, something like that. It was a meeting. We were talking about. I'm from California. That's where I was born. I was born in California, and I talked to Franklin about planting trees, how important it might be to plant trees to sort of bring the environment here in the States back a little bit, and more importantly, focus on rebuilding our workforce. And so that's when I pitched to Franklin Roosevelt the importance of something that I coined the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC. And we started, we hired hundreds of thousands of men who are out of work, got them back to work out of the Great Depression here, and planted hundreds and thousands of trees in California, and various other national parks all over the country, and really did a number on bringing back prosperity to the United States in a post World War II environment. But of course, that wasn't until that was 2003 when I went to see him at the White House in 1943.
So weren't these guys, wouldn't they just be out of work once all the trees were planted?
Well, no, see, there was more work to be done.
How long can you plant
planning
trees?
years. It was 2 or 3 years that they were planting trees in California, and then they moved on to other sorts of things, clearing brush, and building trails, and all of those sorts of. The Pacific Coast Highway is full of trails that were built in the mid to late 40s by the members of the Civilian Conservation Corps.
The Don Owen territory.
Yeah, Don Owen, all the way from Sacramento up north to Tacoma.
Oh, you mean Arco to the fucking the Kingdom?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Arco Arena, all the way up to the Kingdom.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess it's the Tacoma Dome, but whatever.
Well, look, what I want to make clear is that in life, as in baseball, there's only one thing that truly matters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take a guess at what that might be, Blake, or do you want me to give you the lesson?
I'll take the lesson.
Truth.
The truth, yeah. I wasn't gonna. I agree, but that wasn't gonna be what I was gonna guess with you. But yeah, you're right. Thank you for the truth, Ron. White Sox starter Jack McDowell was riding the hottest streak of his career to date. In his previous 5 games, McDowell was 4-0 and nearly 5-0 with a ERA of 1.54, allowing just 32 base runners and only 7 runs in 41 innings. After spending all of 1989 in the minors to deal with an arthritic hip, he was finally looking like the ace that Chicago had hoped for when they drafted him 5th overall in June of '87.
I just want to point out right now to the listeners out there that that's 2 Chicago White Sox that had arthritic hips during this conversation we've had this evening.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's more. Do you think it has anything to do with the facilities?
I think it probably has more to do with the women's suffrage movement.
That's my second guess. After getting leadoff hitter Dan Gladden and his problematic hair to ground out to third baseman Robin Ventura. However, he broke his leg, so maybe there's something with the bone fucking calcium or something in Comiskey.
Well, we should ask Jerry if he allowed milk in the clubhouse. That could be part of the problem. He probably said no.
Look, after probably 1973, I had nothing to do with Harvey Milk. McDowell's he surrendered a single to Nelson Liriano.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jerry.
Oh yes.
Harvey and I were,
of course,
very, very, very close for a time. As you know, I grew up in California, and with parents like mine, it's you're out of the house at 16, running around like crazy because you just need to get away from your parents. And while I never have this is hard.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that and talking about his penis. I guess you see the writing on the wall here. Um, I do appreciate the tender embrace of a female companion, but I am not one to turn down the loving embrace of a uh, well chiseled featured um, man either. And Harvey and I we were lovers in the late '60s. Haight Ashbury was a hell of a place, and we took full advantage of well of San Francisco, of the Bay Area, and of each other.
He surrendered a single to Nelson Liriano. Then
I did. I surrendered myself to him.
No, not you. This
Oh.
is Blackjack's pitch.
My fault. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
T-Dub.
I remember the game very well. So you're telling me the story here, but
Good. Yeah, no, your part's coming. Then T-Dub.
My part was coming. You're absolutely right. It was.
Then T-Dub. There it is. He teed up a pitch to Kent Herbeck that Kent Herbeck launched more than 400 feet into the right field upper deck for his 20th home run of the year. Gary Gaetti got aboard on an error, and Gene Larkin drew a walk before McDowell escaped the inning, lucky to be down only 2-0. That's probably the least amount of stuff I've had in a while, he later confessed. West and McDowell each retired the next 6 batters they faced. Chicago was hitless until Bradley led off the fourth with a line drive single to right. Calderon followed with a double to left, but Gladden got to it quickly enough to keep Bradley from scoring. Thomas then worked a 3-run count into a walk to load the bases. Unlike earlier innings, West was falling behind in the count, and it was costing him. Now the Southpaw attacked the strike zone and sent Carlos Martinez back to the bench on just 3 pitches. He continued to throw strikes, getting ahead 1-2 to Ron Karkovice, better known for being one of the game's best defensive catchers than for his bat. Karkovice made contact with West's fourth offering, smacking a line drive toward the outstretched glove of Greg Gagne for what once seemed a sure inning-ending double play once the Twins' shortstop snagged the drive and doubled up Calderon at second.
I saw it go straight to the shortstop, and I said, "No way!"
Karkovice recalled, worried that he'd killed the team's rally. Instead, the ball sailed just beyond Gagne's reach and into the alley off of left center field. I think I might have nicked it a little bit, Gagne said. Ironically, playing for a double play with Gagne in a few steps looking to turn a grounder into 2 outs had cost the Twins a double play when he wasn't in the ideal position to catch the liner. Gladden and center field John Moses both chased after the ball as it bounded and rolled across the artificial turn to the outfield wall. Moses got there first as runners crossed the plate, and Karkovice came around second.
When I saw the ball heading into the alley, I thought, I got a chance for a triple here.
But when Moses went down to nab the ball, his foot slid on the warning track and got wedged under the fence. He couldn't stand up. In desperation, Moses lobbed the ball toward Gladden, who turned his attention to the infield, oblivious to his teammates' predicament until the ball landed several feet in front of him. When Moses went to get the ball, I just figured he would throw it in, Gladden said later. He wasn't even looking at me, Moses recalled understandingly. It shouldn't be too much for him to expect me to stand up to at least do that. Karkovice had his back to the play, so he relied on third base coach Terry Bevington to signal whether he needed to slide. Instead, he was wildly waving him home.
The guys, the guy said, when I rounded third, my face was beet red. I was huffing and puffing by the time I got home. Reminded me of my days with Harvey.
Wes was able to shake off the setback and retire the next two hitters, and his teammates struck back in the bottom of the inning with 2 outs. Rookie Paul Sorrento belted his third career homer to deep right center, making the score 4-3.
I gotta step in here because I did.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about Greg. Greg and I had a really unique relationship. We're about the same age,
Okay.
and
Twin shortstop Greg Gagne.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. We I don't know if you know this or not, Blake. I don't know what kind of fandoms you hold or how much attention you pay to professional sports in general.
Right.
But back in the late '70s, early '80s, I was for a short time I was a professional wrestler in the AWA territory with Greg's dad, and we wrestled a little bit in the AWA. I didn't wrestle as Ron Karkovice. Obviously, it's not a very good wrestling name, but I wrestled under the name Buck Zumhoff. We
rock and roll Buck Zumhoff.
Yeah, rock and roll Buck Zumhoff. We Greg and I had a lot of ferocious battles in the ring, back and forth. And every once in a while he'd bring his 8-year-old son to the wrestling matches, and I taught the boy to wrestle a little bit too. So there's a lot going on there. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, I wrestled from 77 or 78 until 82 or 83 when Hogan left the promotion for the first time. And I will say, it wasn't until 2014 that I went back in time. I'm sorry. It wasn't until 2014 until I wrestled for the first time in 1977. There's not any. There's no time travel happening here. You see, I had to create a time loop so I didn't end up going to federal prison.
Bro, I told you, hop aboard the express, because we're coming in hot, dog. The Lolita Express, brah.
It's funny you should mention.
What was that about a time loop?
I don't.
Was that in the song? Was that just part of the Quad City DJs maybe track?
Maybe that's what you heard. I don't recall ever saying anything about time travel or time loops or federal prison or any of that.
Yeah, there's something about prison, I thought too.
I don't know.
Okay, well, maybe it's just part of the story.
Look, here's what you got to remember. I mean, we're talking about hitting home runs, regardless of how they're hit. Right?
Okay.
I wasn't a big power guy, but finesse was really my thing. Clearly,
sure.
I like to. Let me tell you something. This one's probably the hardest on my throat of any of the ones that I've had to do. But
you chose your own path.
Yeah, we are where we are, aren't we?
Vis-a-vis.
What it reminds me of when we talk about
music still playing. Jesus, sorry.
That's great. That's totally fine. I enjoy a nice tune every now and again. The ladies love them too, and that's what I was getting at. Home runs, rounding third, headed for home, that sort of thing. Back in the early '40s, when between my time in Hawaii and my time with the president at the White House, and a little after that as well, I was responsible for something like 30 to 40 million children being born in the United States.
Wow.
They call it the baby boom. You may have heard of this, but they've traced it back to one donor for the most part, and it's, spoiler alert, as the kids like to say these days, it's me, it's old Karkovice, Officer Kark, spreading it around. You understand? So look, and I don't bring up these stories
I'm
because
not sure if that math checks out.
I don't bring up these stories out of wanting to self-aggrandize or pump myself up as something more than I actually am. I bring up these stories to create some relatability and to really connect with the audience. I think that's very important. And I think them understanding my global and international importance throughout the 20th century is really what's going to tie all of this together and hopefully finally get me the recognition I deserve in the landscape of both professional sports and broader pop culture generally. You understand?
You certainly deserve a lot. I'll give you that. Neither starter allowed another run. West left after 6 innings. McDowell lasted through the 8th, but in the 9th, Torborg went to the bullpen for Bobby Thigpen to get his 44th save. The right-hander was 3 saves short of Dave Righetti's 4-year-old major league record of 46.
You mentioned Jeff. Jeff brought his Boyer on the clubhouse quite a bit as well. And when I was there in the clubhouse, Dale really really loved professional wrestling.
Right.
I taught him the basics of
Did you about lock up?
We locked up. I taught him the Indian death lock. I taught him.
Did you teach him how to run?
The standard sleeper hold, and yeah, the head scissors.
Plancha?
The head scissors were what he enjoyed the most.
Oh, okay.
And so we spent a lot of time with his head in between my legs.
Mm-hmm. Where did you guys?
I think he was 13 at the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh. The right-hander was 3 saves short of Dave Righetti's 4-year-old major league record of 46.
Wesley, do bring me my underage boys.
In 1984, I played Mr. Belvedere for 4 seasons on ABC with my mentor Bob Uecker. I also
I don't appreciate
lesbian.
I don't appreciate. We need an update there. I don't appreciate you mocking my voice, but I will say this: I did temporarily change my middle name to Aloysius.
My mom said it was just a friend. I think.
Oh, baby, you got what I need. You say she's just a friend. They went to Red Rocks together.
Yeah.
Women of that age do not go to Red Rocks together to a Bonnie Raitt concert.
Yeah, Bonnie
as
Raitt.
Friends.
And Sturgis.
There were clams being eaten all night long.
They're just friends that went together, and they just share the cost. And one of the lady doesn't like to drive. Look, even before my sister was married, when I was 5 and I didn't even know what one was, I thought she was a lesbian. Even after she got married, I still thought she was lesbian. Everything makes sense. His stash of granny porn back in the 90s, the him leaving her. I never saw them ever exchange any kind of fucking intimacy at all. And
might not have been his granny porn.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, what a wild card. Thanks, Kark.
Well, you brought up lesbians, and it reminded me of the spring of 1989.
Sure.
When I
naturally. Tell me more.
I flew to Berlin for the falling of the wall, and I met these two German women, Ergelgru and Victoria, larger women, but
Right.
but very sweet, very kind, but also very lesbian. I tried to get in there, and it wasn't going to happen. But I did. I don't think you remember seeing the video, but you can find it out there on YouTube. Just type in Ron Karkovice Berlin Wall. I'm the one that took the sledgehammer and 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 brought down the last piece of the first big crack in the wall and allowed people to go ahead and flow through. You can tell it's me by the pockmarks on the side of my face. I had a little extra growth. I had been growing out a goatee because I really liked the way that it looked on blackjack, and so you can see the pockmarks behind the sort of blondish goatee on my beard. But you look for it; it's out there. I'm a little bit everywhere, obviously, but that's where you can see me uh, there. That wasn't until, my goodness, when did I go to 1989 for the Berlin Wall? That was probably, oh no, that was, yeah, I went to 89 the Berlin Wall. That was like 81 that I ended up there. It's one of the first. Anyway, yeah, you can keep going. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high.
Mr. Karkovice, well, tear down that wall.
Oh yeah, that guy. Jesus Christ.
What a jelly bean. Anyway, after Larkin hit a line drive into Calderon's glove and Harper smacked a grounder to shortstop Scott Fletcher for the next to last out of the game, Sorrento gave Twins fans a glimmer of hope with a line drive single into left field. The rookie was replaced by the speedier Shane Mack at first, but the pinch runner could only watch as the first pitch Moses saw from Thigpen popped up high and landed safely in Fletcher's glove to end the game. Despite this White Sox win and 20 more in their remaining 33 games, they never got closer than 5.5 games from first the rest of the season, finishing 9 games back of the 103 win Oakland A's. Chicago's record of 94 and 68 represented 6 more wins than the AL East division champion Boston Red Sox, in third most in the majors. Oakland was swept in the 1990 World Series by the 91 win Cincinnati Reds. And Minnesota finished last in the AL West with a record of 74 and 88. The next season, the Twins won the World Series, the first champions ever to go worst to first. There's also a video in the very bottom of a very effeminate Kark high five.
Look, high five was it was kind of I don't know if you're aware of this, but high five was invented in the 1930s in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, originally, it wasn't called the high five; it was called the Heil five.
Did you have something to do with that?
I did, yeah. Well, I mean, look, I was an undercover agent, working with the Central Intelligence Agency in the late 1930s in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
My second time in Berlin. Not in a linear sense, but
Sure.
certainly down the road.
Made a real mess for yourself, haven't you?
Well, I mean, look, I'm talking to you now, and it's I believe it's 2025 for you. For me, it's 1914.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a.
How do you have this technology?
What?
The technology to do this in 1914.
I'm fully unaware of what technology is.
For a man who knows about a time loop, to not know technology is just wild, Kark.
Well, look, I mean, what you got to understand is
what is
the most important thing is that we remain steadfast and honest with each other. And so
The truth.
Just
Yeah.
know I am what I say I am. I am where I say I am. I am when I say I am. And I mean, look, if it weren't for me, you sons of bitches probably wouldn't even be alive,
Oh,
because 14 years from now, I invent penicillin. Well, I don't invent it, but I discover penicillin. And certainly that keeps the human race alive for at least 117 more years,
you
which
discovered
puts us.
penicillin in 2039?
No, 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 no. From where I am now.
Oh, 1940. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
1928 is when I discovered it. But um, it keeps the human race going until, gosh, 2028, and then another 17, 30, 40, 20, 2045. And then, I mean, that's not for me to decide to tell you about. You got to figure that out on your own. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, um,
I'll try
that's all anybody can do.
and be honest, right?
That's what I've been doing. Try and be honest. Uh, I
Not the exact opposite. You haven't been doing that at
you know
all.
what I watched. You know what I watched tonight? I watched Finding Dory, the
Oh,
sequel to Finding Nemo.
sure.
What a beautiful television movie that was. How I watched it, I don't remember. I'm in 1914, but it could be part of the loop that I'm grabbing memories from other times. There is no loop. Um, thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cart. Oh,
I don't know where he went. So that's interestingly, that's that. My throat is dead. And next time on the whole ball game, we get to watch a ball game. Blake, what are we watching?
it's the it's where Albert Belle Buttafuoco over here's bat cracks, and it's July 15th, I believe, of
July 15th,
1994, and it's the
1994.
White Sox and that smiling Chief Wahoo and the Tribe.
It's all right here next time on.
No ball game.
I got to get out of here. I got to invent the computer.